Welcome back. Smooth and Crypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. It has been another great pleasure to have Dude on the channel. How are you doing, Dude?
Excellent. I'm always happy to be here. I enjoy doing streams with you.
Yeah, man. It's always a good time. I feel like we always have a great conversation. A lot of alpha drops, right? Macro alpha, as I call it. And this is pretty great timing, right at the end of September, rolling into October, and the inevitable release of Element 280. How are you feeling about it?
Super bullish.
Yeah.
I am so like as I'm building it, I myself am really happy with what's developing. Now that I've got the front end testnet going and we're on a local node and I'm clicking buttons, I'm super excited for the real thing. And then pair that with it seems like every stream I've done, I'm getting overwhelmingly positive reviews on everything. So I'm getting every stream I do, I'm getting more and more excited.
That's awesome. Hey, and that means obviously the game theory and tokenomics are really hitting people's ears correctly, and
Yeah.
they really get it. And I've just been periodically reading the white paper kind of over and over again, right? Because it always is right when the UI releases. That's when everything kind of really clicks. But seeing the white paper and really seeing kind of the game theory that you're trying to build really helps throughout the process before it releases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to be really really interesting, this one, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like this is never like LP webs have been done, but like this flavor of LP webs, I think, is fantastic. With when you talk about the bonded liquidity with Titanx and how all these layer two tokens built on Titanx, how they all move together up and down, I think that's really gonna accelerate what Element 280 does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's kind of like a really cool aspect that you have, not only amazing tokenomics, but also the NFT portion of it is really cool in my opinion, because you've seen what the Dragon X NFTs kind of have become throughout price appreciation, right? The price floor has absolutely went crazy. So with E280 behind those NFTs and all of the interconnected webs of the LPs, it should not only be crazy bullish to own the NFT in general, but also E280 in general.
Yeah, yeah, and then stack on earning additional E280 tokens just by holding the NFT, and that it like adds that's like the cherry on top where you get all of those excellent aspects, and you're earning additional rewards like liquid. You don't have to stake, no lockups, just hold the NFT.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's people love not only X's and gains and whatnot, but they love getting that consistent monthly, yearly, whatever the case may be, just more of that thing that they want to acquire, right? And just holding this NFT, being able to get E280 on the back end, and obviously you can buy as much as you want off the open market. So if you like it, and you can buy multiple NFTs, right? So it's really really cool to see, and how it's going to play out, being kind of it's would you consider it a reflection NFT?
yeah, yeah. I think so. Pretty,
Okay.
at a basic, like if people are familiar with reflection tokens, like holding the token, you're not getting reflections because all of that's going to the NFT holders. So a reflection NFT, that yeah, that's I like that term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I truly think, right, the amount of E280 is going to be that you're going to get from the NFT is going to be very eye opening, in my opinion, right? Because I think maybe early on the NFT holders uh, might really, really get a good bag of E280. Obviously, it's to be seen, but I think the early holders are going to be looking pretty good with the bag.
yeah. I've got a lot of people. That's been like the number one question. Really, is like, uh, do is there incentive to mint on day one or not? And um, to me, there is because if you see with any project that launches, day one volume is like 20x what day 2 and 3 day volume is generally, so if you want a piece of all that volume, then I would say, yeah, you do want to mint on day one. But I mean, if you're just minting tokens and you're not doing the NFT, then I don't really see much difference. It's really just the arb play that you're trying to play at that point. Like, I see people minting tokens to sell back into the buy and burn to compound their position. That's pretty much what I see with the token holders. Otherwise, I think primarily people will be doing NFTs. I myself will be doing NFTs.
Yeah, I think I'm probably more than likely going to do NFTs, and I might later on in the minting phase, either market buy or mints. I just want to let it play out a tiny bit just to see, like, because we've seen with these new projects dropping, it is so incredibly volatile. Like throughout the whole first 2 weeks, it's insanely volatile. So if I could pick up a nice arbitrage on the bottom, you know what I mean, or while it's minting or whatever, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that again, that's another argument for doing a day one mint of the NFT,
Yep.
because like this isn't just a launch on one LP with what you're talking about of crazy volume and fluctuations. This is going to be like 14 LPs at launch.
Right.
So like 14x the volume. I don't know, because you're splitting up the LP across the 14, but still, like you're gonna get additional volume just from all the arbitrage. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a token launch with 14 LPs all at once. So this will be
I've
really interesting. Like, how does a sniper bot even participate in that?
mhm. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've actually probably never heard of it, so let alone seen it in action. So
Yeah,
this is why, like, this E280 project is going to be very. I keep saying interesting, but because I've never seen it, So it's like at the end of the day, like, do we know what it's going to do? Do you know what the possibilities for the high sides are, the low side? I don't, right? And
yeah,
so I think kind of to negate all of that is just get an NFT and just hold it.
yeah. Besides all of that, I mean, people in the Titanx ecosystem, they've seen what a buy and burn can do, and we've got a 90% buy and burn. So I feel like, I don't know, where can you go wrong in this? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, we've already seen the 90% buy and burn in action through other projects, and it
yeah,
rips. It
yeah,
rips. It does amazing, and people love it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, with the added effect of people wanting to hold these NFTs and earn those rewards, like that's going to lock up a lot of the tokens, because people are going to be minting and holding those NFTs and all the backed tokens with it. Uh, I don't know. And then we'll see, like, do we see crazy spikes and people burning their NFTs immediately, like seeing, dollar signs on that backing and they just want to immediately cash in on it? Like, uh, I don't know, maybe all of the above, I would imagine, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and especially a lot of people are looking for the non-mainstream way to play these releases, right? And at the end of the day, right, minting, in my opinion, is the safest way to play all of this. And, it just might have the most beneficial being day one throughout all of it. And, if you're all you want to do is get more and more of a token, instead of doing big purchases or weekly purchases, you're going to be able to get it E280 all day, during the night, whenever, and you're just going to consistently get more and more. And I think that is so bullish for growing a good position, and it's a way to DCA into a coin without actually having to put more capital into it. So I mean, it's a win-win in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other common question I've been getting is like, is there tax? Like, I guess just to clarify, there is no tax on minting these tokens, or minting the NFT. You're paying that one for one cost, and you're getting that full cost. as opposed to like if you're buying on market, you are going to be paying that tax to acquire off the market. So there's pros and cons to both sides, because there is a 48-hour cooldown on anything you mint, so you can't just mint and immediately dump on the market. So if you're trying to play a super short-term game, then you probably do want to buy off the market, but then you're paying tax. So now you need more ROI to offset that tax cost, as opposed to waiting 48 hours. So that'll be interesting to see how many people really try for the short-term gains. I mean, with every buy and burn I've seen, somebody is out there clicking the burn button, and then selling into it. Like, I don't think this is going to be any different. Like, there's going to be those short-term players. But this time, this will be different. Those people are paying all the NFT holders every time they do that. So, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's awesome because no matter what the right play is, right, and there's definitely wrong plays to these projects and releases and stuff like that. And no matter what anybody says, people are gonna do those wrong plays every single time. I have no idea why. It's just inevitable, right? And if you look at the biggest losers like on Deck Screener, it's insane every time to see it. It happens every single first day. It blows my mind. And I'm more of a safe, kind of way to do it. I don't like I'm not a day trader. I've never been good at it. I am more of a hold it, set it, forget it. That I'm good at that. I'm really good at that. I don't sell, right? I sit on my hands, and I'm not playing that game. So I definitely like the NFT aspect. It gives you less risk in the beginning, if you want to jump into a project. And yeah, so what just to jump into the transaction and sell, buy, transfer tax and stuff like that. Just kind of run me through your thought process of having kind of a more aggressive during mint phase and then dial it down when it's after mint phase.
Initially, we didn't want, like, we just had it where you couldn't get any tokens until after mint was done. And then Jake, which is in the chat, what's up, Jake?
What up, Jake?
Yes, it has been announced. So he pointed out people will love to compound, and I was like, that is absolutely correct. I was trying to avoid people from selling into the buy and burn, to basically ruining your chart on a launch. But then I was realizing, well, dude, you just crank up the tax on it, which we did a 4x from 4% to 16%. That allows people to still do that, but in the process, they're paying a big portion of that to NFT holders. So now we're allowing the short-term players to play. They just have to wait for a little bit higher ROI. So if it's 25% ROI and they're paying that 16% tax, they're still getting their 9%. They're still making money, but at the same time, the NFT holders are making money on that as well. So now you've got short-term players and long-term players kind of aligned on that, like where everybody's happy with as much minting as possible and sell all you want, like just create all the volume you want and everybody's happy, and that's really what it is. And then after the mint phase is over, compounding is done, the supply is capped, all that craziness, of all the compounding is over with. Now, if you're going to sell, well, you're not minting anymore. So if you're selling, you're selling out until you're at zero or whatever. So at that point, we knock it back down to what we would call a normal tax rate of 4%.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think, especially not only paying out the NFT holders and whatnot, I think 4% overall is a fair price, in my opinion. I like how aggressive it is during mint phase because this is the most volatile time. People are really susceptible to their emotions, and it's going to be, very, very up and down with how people play this, and all of that percent roll into the NFT holders. They're just kind of sitting back, just relaxing. They're like, hey, I don't have to worry about any of that. Right? Like, yeah. I'm going to hold this for X amount of time, if not forever, and just continue to grow my bag. And I think just having one thing in general to grow another thing is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. 12.8% of the tax is going out of the 16, 12.8 is going to NFT holders. Like that's, to me, that's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see with 14 LPs. Like, will we still see that initial huge spike? Will we see sniper bots? Like, do they, these are all good questions. And to me, it's just a curiosity thing because I don't intend on buying on the market. To me, it makes sense to mint. You're foregoing that 16% buy tax up front. Like that, it just makes sense to me to mint.
Yeah, very
So
true.
but there's always people that do buy on the market, and they all have their own reasons. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just with the NFTs coming out, how many, without, I can go through the white paper, but how many total?
Like different tiers, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, I would say three. You got your common, rare, legendary, but then there's like the amped version of that NFT. So technically it's six, but it's like three with a variation of each one. You know.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
and again, like all of these, it's one for one pricing. If you're minting a legendary, it's 10 billion Titan X, and you're getting that 10 billion E280 backing. That's the exact same as if you're minting the token, or if you're minting 100 commons, it's all the same.
Right.
So it's really just for ease of the user. You don't want to, if you don't want to mint 100 commons and manage 100 NFTs, just mint one legendary. Or if you do plan on, say your plan is to sell a portion of your NFT, then maybe you mint 10 rares, because that would be the same as one legendary. And then that way you're able to, crush two or three of those and still have 7 left over to hold long term, whatever. Which
Yeah.
I think I like that strategy the most as well. Just, minting a couple of NFTs to where you have that ability to crush one or two, but still hold, a couple more.
Yeah, absolutely. And having the ability, and then you put simple math behind it, right? 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion, right? And people that, like you said, they want to they got 1.5 billion they want to allocate and 5 commons if you want, and just do it that way instead of having like, dang, I don't want to spend 2 billion total. I just want to spend this specific amount, and so I think very simple, very effective on the NFT payment, the mint cost. And so this is going to be unlimited throughout the whole entire mint phase, basically.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really nice.
And then the burn amplifier option, that's, to me, that's extra mechanics for the user to decide what's best for them, because you're paying an additional cost, but you're not getting any additional backing. It's additional 10% cost, but you're getting 20% bonus and rewards. So it'll be interesting. Like if you're a short-term player, it could be questionable. If you're a long-term player, likely worth it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the stats on, like, we'll have on our website, the total supply of each tier, and like the total global reward multiplier, all that good stuff that everybody loves to see.
Yeah, all the
So,
stats.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm super interested to see how these rewards go. I mean, the sky's really the limit, right? And the fact that you have a forever buy, sell, and transfer tax is just gonna, always, always, and I can't say this enough, always benefit the NFT holders. And we will see this. I think there's going to be an NFT marketplace for everything, possibly. So I'm really interested to see how that plays with E280.
Yeah, yeah, and there's zero royalties on these NFTs, so take them to whatever your preferred marketplace is. We'll definitely have a link to the Titan Legends marketplace because they're trying to be that go-to for Titan X NFTs. You know, they've listed Dragon X NFTs over there, so we'll definitely be, you know, featured on their website as well, for people buying and selling. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I love what they're doing over there. And I've throughout the whole bull run last time, it was one of those things that people really, really valued NFTs. And throughout all of the crazy different rug pulls and stuff, right? It just kind of gave some false confidence in what NFTs actually are. And so I think what we're doing over here is kind of not only rebranding what NFTs are, I guess, but like actually giving use case, utility, and a community behind them, instead of it just saying like, okay, if I buy this random NFT, price go up, I sell it because people want it. I think everything we're doing is kind of growing that aspect instead of it being so simple and one sided.
Yeah. But I did ensure that if you don't like NFTs, you can still absolutely participate. You can mint just the
Yep.
token. You don't need the NFT. Obviously, you're not getting any of those rewards, but it's more of a simple way to get in. You know, if you think just that the ecosystem is going to do well and this bonded liquidity thing works for you, just buy and hold the token or mint and hold the token. Yeah, and go with it.
That's awesome. And just to clarify, 10 commons is one rare, right? Rewards wise and everything.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
Do
then 100 commons or 10 rares equals one legendary.
Yep. That's
So,
awesome. So the percentages and payouts are all going to be acquired accustomed to that amount.
right, yeah. So basically, there's no like whale incentive. You know, like the whales are going to be getting the exact same percentage of reward as all the shrimp.
I
So
love that. That's really really bullish in my opinion, because some other NFT projects that I've been in the past, if you minted this specific one or whatever the case may be, you got an unreal amount of advantage over every other NFT holder. So this is another form of fair launch, even in NFTs, which is so cool.
right, yeah, yeah, I love it. Where you don't have to go on the market and fight bots on any in any form. Like when you can mint yourself, and this is a 28-day mint, one for one. Like, so if you show up 5 hours late, like you're still getting that same rate as everybody else. Um, yeah, I think that's the as fair as you can get as far as a launch goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think people are really going to see. And this is one of those things, first day mints are obviously going to happen. But when we were just, for instance, Inferno, right? At the end of those minting weeks, we saw a huge kick up of, you know, influx of Titan X. So I'm interested to see how many people get in the beginning, middle, and end of this 28-day period, because FOMO is a real thing, and within this community, we've seen things go crazy. People haven't caught it, people caught it, and you know a lot of people want a little bit of everything, and whether it hits them early or late is to be seen. And I'm pretty excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you, I'll definitely be part of that day one crew.
Yeah.
You know, to me, like if I've already decided I want to participate, so why not just do it on day one and just be there? Like, and then maybe if you're feeling the FOMO, you can add to your position later on, you know, whatever. But at least that one NFT up front. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be day one. I like day one the most on most of these things, right? Like
Mhm.
day one max miners has been probably one of the best decisions I've made in crypto this
Yeah.
through Titan X. I mean, I was just blindly saying, all right, let's do some max miners, right? I have max miners for Helios, I have max miners for Hydra, I mean, everything, right? Hyper. And it just saves so much time, effort, and risk in reality. And so getting 1-to-1 on Titan X, or getting an early NFT is just always the safest play in my opinion. And we're always going to be deflationary. I mean, everything in this ecosystem is deflationary, and it's it's just insane that we got deflationary NFTs as well. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. 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 I'm really excited to see what it looks like when, in December at the latest, Titan X is deflationary, and then you've got like Dragon X deflationary on top of that. No telling what Hydra's going on at that point, and like E280 on top of that deflationary, or E280 on top of Inferno that everybody loves. It's deflationary. Like, I can't even imagine. It's just I get too bullish when I play all these scenarios out, and I have to rein it back and be like, chill out, chill out.
Yeah,
Let's go
yeah.
back to reality.
We were talking before. It's like you don't want to get over bullish when everybody's bullish. Like you have to have a somewhat of a realistic mindset, because when you start putting real numbers and money and all of this behind your thoughts and math, it gets stupid very quickly. And I try not to do it because I get too excited about it.
Yeah, yeah. And like people are talking about wanting to burn their Titan X stakes, for X28, and I'm like, I'm gonna let mine ride. What is all that Titan X gonna be worth when it unlocks in 10 years? How much ETH did I earn along the way? Probably not too much, but it is ETH, and I still get that fat bag of Titan X at the end.
Yep.
Like, let it ride. We'll see.
Yeah. And it's one of those things when everything was happening with kind of like staking, quote unquote, dilution, right? As it was happening early on days,
Yeah.
people thought, okay, I don't know why I max length. I don't know this and that, right? It was like, no, when you did it, you saw the math. You're like, that looks great, right? You saw how many shares you seen. That looks great. And what people underestimate is like, you still got those coins. You're just going to have to wait to get them back. Like, it's not that deep. Like, you signed a contract, like live up to that contract, relax. But, it might be the best play some people made throughout all of this, right? They like, dang, I really messed everything up, but thank God I got my X amount of Titan X staked long term, even though I'm only getting a little bit of ETH here and there. But you never know. Miners go profitable again. It could be very, very beneficial to have some in the stakes.
I'm fully expecting mining to start. If I were to make a bet, I would say this year mining will kick back in with Titan X. The cool thing is that 95% of that mining is going to be max miners. So it's like 280 days of inflation. Like, we won't see that inflation for 280 days. Like, that's a long time for the charts, to see this.
Yeah, because
Yes.
when everything's going 280 and the percent is positive or whatever, you're not going to do a 100-day miner, right? You're like, I don't know if 100 days is going to be enough for this to be profitable, and I know people are going to speculate, but that inflation is really just pushed back. It's delayed inflation, and like you said, what are these charts going to do when all of that time in between and so many buying burns on top of everything? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And Element 280 will have an LP with Titan X itself. We couldn't leave that out. So like every one of these tokens, and it'll be very easy to include future projects in this. Like, the more the merrier. With this design, the more LPs you have, just the more transaction volume you get, the more burning you get, the more rewards for NFT holders. And we're doing all of that without inflating the supply. Like, it's still going to be deflationary. And that's one thing we really haven't brought up much, mainly because I don't see a lot of people participating in it. But we will have a LP manager contract as well. So for people that want to provide liquidity for Element 280, we will have a way to do that without you getting taxed. Because if you go with the transfer tax, if you go provide liquidity, it's going to tax you into that LP and out of the LP. So to skirt that, we've created a smart contract that will manage that LP for you, and then we will whitelist that to be tax free. So for all those the liquidity providers out there like E280, you'll absolutely be able to participate in.
That's awesome. And that's one of the questions I had, because very early on that buy sell transfer tax would be very, very thick for some LP providers, right? To get in and out of it and stuff. So that's awesome that you have that.
Yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, the pool itself's going to have the 1% LP that the LP providers are earning. Still the majority of that tax is it's all going to NFT holders. So, but there's going to be that volume, like you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And the amount of LPs coming out, is there a specific percent of allocation towards certain ones over others? Are they all balanced, or how does that going to work?
Several factors. We should have something finalized, I would say, by the end of this week.
Okay.
We don't want to set it up and then have to redo it because of a launch that came in last minute. We're kind of waiting. Awesome X is launching on Friday. We're going to include them, make sure that all happens. So it'll basically be, probably 3 to 5 days before launch that we do a final decision on the percent allocations. But it'll absolutely be like market cap, market sentiment. A lot of people like a lot of certain coins. Also, there's things to consider like Flux and Inferno, or any allocation we put to Flux is still a buy through the Inferno LP.
Yep.
So we want to just make sure, and then especially with Dragon X, there's Baby Dragon X, Hydra. There's multiple projects built on top of it. So all of those allocations will be running through the Dragon X LP. I'll tell you, most certainly Dragon X is going to have like the most buy pressure out of this. Like I don't see any other way around it. With as popular as that token is, along with all of the other tokens built on top of it, it's going to be unavoidable, really, with if you factor in the market cap and all those things.
Yeah.
So, and that's great. Like, everybody wants E280 to succeed, and so we want to put those allocations properly across all of the largest tokens, and make sure that the biggest ones really will carry this E280 token with it.
Yep. Yeah. And, like you said, E280, Element 280 is Titanx on easy mode, right? You will have all of the exposure to all of these coins just by owning Element 280 or the NFT associated with it. And that is incredibly so bullish. I do not think people realize that, because it just makes the LP web, like you were saying, so interconnected with everything in the ecosystem. We have LPs that are all with Titanx for the most part throughout the ecosystem. And, it kind of benefits other coins by having that, but, that's their only LP, right? So this is launching with what you said, 16 different LPs virtually. And, it's going to be insane how connected it is to everything that goes up and down within the ecosystem, moving on through hyperdeflation. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah. I can't say it enough. I'm just super excited. So bullish for this. Nothing. I haven't had a single negative, comment or criticism to this project. It's beautiful to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you done any teasers or anything of the NFT, or what the NFT looks like or anything?
We have not yet.
I
I
would
think
have
we,
seen it, but I just had to ask.
yeah, I think we will at some point. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. That's something that we were just discussing in the last day or two. Is like we haven't disclosed that, and I think at some point before launch, like I definitely want to have like a walkthrough of the website before launch,
Yep.
to just make sure everybody understands what's going on, what all the buttons do. So that'll definitely happen closer to launch. A few
Yep.
days beforehand. Yeah, and I think we could tease some of the NFT images. I really like them. They're cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I just had to ask because I haven't seen it. It isn't on your Telegram or anything, so I was just like, maybe I seen it, maybe it's out there and I didn't know. But I think obviously we're not going to show the entire collection, but a little teaser or something, or you should drop just like the small little corner of it or something like that before you officially release it. I think that'd be
Yeah.
funny.
Blurred NFTs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Here's the whole collection. You guys can look at it. It's just
Yeah.
colors.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, let's run through the chat a little bit to see who's in here. And yeah, so Damos, how are you doing? Khaled, Amos, E280 will be awesome. Couldn't agree more. We've been saying that this entire stream, basically.
Uh,
How is the volume of Titanx ecosystem going to impact E280? I think that's a great
I,
question.
I think it will be an amazing impact. Like I can't help but think of like what Baby Dragon X did. Like I don't remember exactly what size their LP was before the Dragon X pump. The Titan, it was like Titan X pumped, Dragon X pumped, and Baby Dragon X did a small pump. But with all of that added up together, it was just a massive pump for Baby Dragon X.
Yeah.
And their LP went from something super dinky to like over 1 million in liquidity, like
Wow.
super fast. And I feel like that is what's really bullish to me is if E280 being a layer 3 and a layer 4 on top of all these other projects, like it could really do that same thing when any of these other tokens skyrocket. The liquidity in the E280 LPs are going to skyrocket with it, and then you have instant, like if you're going to 1 million in liquidity like overnight, like your trading volume is going to 10x with it, and all the arbitrage trades, they're going to be even more beneficial to those bots. They're going to be trading larger amounts and paying more tax to those NFT holders. So I feel like we're launching at like such a beautiful time. One, all these projects are coming out, and they're all great. And like we're able to encapsulate them all and make that Titan X easy button for people. But
Mhm.
also like we're all with all of the milestones with the 369 payout and the vortexes going off and all of these projects, working together to really kickstart the Titan X bull market. It's just going to accelerate E280. That leverage on leverage on leverage play. Like
Yep.
it'll be huge.
Yeah, and like you said, we've seen it through Baby Dragon X. I mean, when
Yeah,
it happens so fast. It
yeah,
is like you're like, I can't believe I missed it. I knew about it, whatever the case may be, but when it goes, it goes. And
and no pullback. It's just chilling
yep,
at like these massive LPs. Like lots of liquidity, lots of trading availability to happen. So yeah, I don't see how E280 is going to be any different than that. So
yeah, and I like how, and in theory, you should be able to trade within E280 through any other coins because you have so many LPs. So it's so bullish. Instead of having to make those 8, 9 different transactions to just get a
yeah,
couple things done, I
yeah.
think that's awesome.
Right, right. Like if you're trying to like you're holding an NFT, but you really like Helios, you could sell your E280 rewards directly into Helios, and accumulate your favorite project, like yeah, I think that's awesome as well.
Yeah, and it's understated. I think that's something so bullish for gas fees specifically
Mhm.
that people aren't really thinking about, and stuff like that. I really like because nothing's worse than getting hit with you know crazy high Ethereum gas fees sometimes, and you're like, damn, I got to do 3 transactions to do this one thing I want to do. So
Yeah, that's when I'm like, well, I'll check back tomorrow.
yeah, I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning, see how it looks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the
Uh,
Mo's in here. What's up, Mo? Obviously, Jake. Be doing it. I'll be both long, short, maybe even middle. So yeah, it's just weigh the taxes option.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, that was something that Marco was talking about. He likes to ladder into projects and ladder out of them. Like I see this could be the same thing, like you mint 10 rares and then you can ladder out of them. Like, all right, every 2 months I'm going to sell one NFT, and then hold X amount. There's lots of strategies, but what I'm trying to say is, I guess I like that strategy. I think I will do the short, medium, long term as well.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the it's less risk. It really is, right? And some positions and some buys are going to be better than others, but at the end of the day, you're creating an average, you're creating a median, and throughout the whole rest of it, hopefully throughout those few buys or however many buys you did, you got a really good position.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Because
you're, free rolling at that point.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mo's in here, chat gang back at it, of course. Bad sports, yes, sir. This guy is a beast. He is always in live streams. It's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so Flux and awesome. Hello, everybody. Device King. How much will go to the Helios treasury from E280?
So let's see. With the 4% buy sell tax, Helios is getting 0.2% of that. Um, that's in E280 tokens. So that'll be our form of, we will forever be earning E280 tokens in our treasury, which I think is amazing. And then through the buy and burn, Helios is getting 4%. So 100% of the Titan X is going to buy these ecosystem tokens. And then once we make that purchase, 4% is going to the Helios treasury. We're doing the 6% to the Genesis, and then 10% is burning that ecosystem token. And then the other 80% is buying and burning E280. So yeah, the Helios treasury is basically getting 4% of everything coming in that's in ecosystem tokens. So if we're including 14 tokens, the Helios treasury will have 14 tokens. That's going to be super fun. Like, I've already been kind of plotting on like what I think we should be doing with some of these tokens.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pretty vocal. I think the first thing I want to do is take our Blaze tokens and stake them and earn ETH on those.
Mm-hmm.
And then, use that to pay our stakers, burn HLX. But they're like, the options are endless. I've thought of a lot of good things, but ultimately it's going to come down to what the community wants. We'll go to a vote.
Yep.
We'll put together some strategies, and I'm sure the community's got some great ideas as well. So let's get that conversation going. Jump in our
Yeah.
Telegram. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to reiterate, the Helios Telegram is the E280 Telegram too, right? It's the same
Yeah,
Telegram.
yeah. I didn't want to have multiples. Like, I like it all under one umbrella. Same
Yep.
with the Honest. It's all there. Any future projects I come out with, just stick it in there, and like, it's not because every time I join one, I'm like, another Telegram chat. I'm joining.
Right.
The
Yeah.
folders have saved my life, but still,
Mhm.
like, I really like going to just click the Helios icon, and then in there I can see like the 4 or 5 chats we got going, and like it's
Right.
all in one place. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a person ask me that, and I just wanted to reiterate to everybody that this is the same Telegram. I think it's really smart that you do that, especially if you're going to consistently build more and more things. It's like, what do you, at the end of the day, in 5 years, are you going to have 10 telegrams, like,
Yeah.
or whatever the case? That's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's silly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. 912 all day long. You guys are doing great work. It will pay off. Thanks. I appreciate that comment. Rich Alpha Alert, Keto Natural. Hey, what's up? This is awesome for Helios. Great work, dude. Yeah, it's in perpetuity. This is my tight next saying that I'm coining right now. It's tight next dot 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 in perpetuity. Everything about tight next is in perpetuity. E280 in perpetuity, right? I mean, everything is forever. So yeah, just decided to throw that out there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so brain overload with so much awesomeness. The Mo, yes, sir. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many NFTs are really minted at the end of the day, because that will really dictate these percentages that people are getting. And I think that's the most bullish thing about it, right? Some people might sleep on it early on, and you're like, damn, people got crazy ROIs that first week or second week, and they're like, I got to get them. And they're going to hold them for as long as they want, burn them, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea. Like I want to watch that as well, but I also am really interested to see how fast they go deflationary. Like as the token goes up in value, how many people are going to see that backing and be like, "Oh, 20 grand, like yeah, I'll take that. I'm burning my NFT. I'm taking
Yep.
that." Like how many people will click that button and then and then it hits 40K, and then how many people are going to be like, yes, I want that. Like,
Yep.
and every time someone does that, you're paying all of the diamond hands, like, and they're just getting more and more of the pie. This will be very cool to watch. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio tight next to E280 for these NFTs. So at the end of the day, you know how much exactly you paid for it. At the end of the day, it's 1 billion, 100 million, 10 billion, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So simple math, and, whatever you want to transfer in and out of or burn it to get what it's going to be. I know a lot of people are not going to be able to hold on. I know a lot of people aren't going to.
No, there's always the lettuce hands everywhere.
Yep.
But that's great. Like that we in design on this, we are assuming that that's what's happening. You've got the diamond hands, you got the short-term players, the medium. Like I feel like we've got all of the aspects designed into this, where like everybody, whatever your strategy is, you have an opportunity to win at this and also support the other people. Like it's yeah.
Yeah. And, E280, whether it's going to be the heavier side of the LP, it's going to hold all projects with it. Right. So it's going to be some projects, it might be a little heavier. Some projects, it might be a little lighter on each side, but nonetheless, it's bonded and linked to everything. So, if one goes up, it's going to raise E280, which will raise everything. So it's like,
Right.
if one
And
thing
then
goes, if everything goes, I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, you'll have arbitrage bots selling it down on other LPs to equalize the price. But yeah, that's again, everybody will be happy with that as well because all the NFT holders getting paid. Yeah.
yep, absolutely. Damn. Okay, I got a shout out. Shout out to Mo. You do not have enough Titan X. Thank you so much for the 20 bomb, Mo. I appreciate that so much. That's awesome. Yeah, you
Yes,
really don't have enough Titan X.
I like that. I like that. I'm not sure who started it. It might have been Mo. You'll have to tell me in the comments who started that. But I like it. We should all run with that. That's great marketing.
Yeah. And every day that passes, oh, he said Markin did.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a great coin saying, because you really don't. And once you realize kind of what's going to happen in the future with circulating supply wise, I guess you could say, you're like, well, am I okay with this bag, or do I need more? And every time I think about it, I'm like, God, I need more.
Yeah, clearly you're selling your house. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So we're
that's
gonna have
that's
a
going in
hopefully
right there.
a nice bag, and so we'll see. Hopefully, sooner or later, right, we get the money from it. But at the end of the day, I still buy a little bit here and there. I have a great bag from the depression, so it's like I'm good, but I just want that extra little little boost at the end. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and where is it? Bad Sports said, I think the Element brand and mechanics will start a whole new series of protocols based on this idea of innovation. I could not agree more. Once they see how successful it is, it's going to be almost a standard cornerstone of a lot of projects coming out, because if instead of minting with one coin, they're like, hey, we want to be a part of all the coins. And this is a great way to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that was something I saw on a stream today with Jake, Crypto Kindness. He was asking him, like, did you expect to see these layer 3, layer 4? Did you expect to see these people building tokens on top of tokens? And he was like, no, I didn't. But I love it so much. That leverage on leverage play is just, it's so great. And I think everybody is liking it. So now the question is like, how deep does the inception go? Like, how many layers of tokens are we going to have?
Yep.
I would, again, I would make a bet somebody is going to want to build on top of Element 280, like, and like harness the power of that token,
Yep.
deflationary token built on top of all of the other tokens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested in, like you said, right, the inception. How deep does it really go? Because years from now, we could have layer 9s, layer 10s. Who knows, right? It's it's crazy.
If nobody else does it, I will. Damn it. I think that's too cool of an idea, or just create the Inception project that has 5 layers built into it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And this is the start. I really think this is the start. I mean, you're already touching everything, right?
Yeah.
Instantly. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Keto Natural says, will you be able to batch create NFTs?
100%. Yeah. One click. Well, actually, you're going to have a approval, just like any other smart contract to spend your Titan-X. But other than that, yeah, one click batch mint. Same thing with collecting your rewards. You can batch claim everything. So yeah, super simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think batch mints are so important, especially on Ethereum, in my opinion. Right, a lot of other protocols and layer ones might be a little cheaper. And I think at this point, if you're on Ethereum, you're doing Titan-X stuff. You're like, okay, Ethereum, it is what it is. I know I'm going to pay gas fees. I have Ethereum set aside for this, so it's inevitable. So nice. Can you? Uh,
Shit. I glitched out there. I missed your
sorry.
comment.
So I was saying, so now that we can batch mint, can we batch burn as well?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The UI, I'm loving it because you can go through and just select each one. Like, you don't have to burn them all. Like, it'll show you your whole list of NFTs, and then you can sit there and select which ones specifically, sort them by rarity, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm loving the website. That's what's getting me really bullish too. Like, I'm clicking the mint button and I'm doing all of those things. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Just seeing that UI really puts a lot of the mental space it has on paper or on screen, if you will. So I'm sure it kind of not only gets you bullish, but gets all of those thoughts out. You're like, okay, now that instead of thinking about these intricacies, it's all on paper. It's right there. It's running. I can play with it, see different situations, scenarios. So I can't imagine how fun that is playing with that.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 weeks.
October 12th.
Yeah.
Two days before my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Give
big
yourself
one.
an early birthday present.
Yeah, I'm gonna mint with my birthday money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. So let's see. Adam Amos Ada most, maybe skipping the rent here and there. That's crazy. Do not skip your rent to buy anything. Pay your rent. Be safe. Do not skip your rent.
Yeah.
Back in
No, no.
2020, you could do that, but don't do that here. 2024 is different. Bad Sports says, when build, if and when I will, hopefully sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So we'll see. Inception, yes, sir. Revo, my estimate is that the price is going to go yo-yo, but mathematically designed to burn away supply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not just E280, but we're burning all of the ecosystem tokens, like supporting their flywheels to continue boosting their ROIs, to continue people going into the flex auctions. Like it really supports everything. Which is supporting everything is supporting E280. And there we are with that circular motion, like Circle of Life and Titan X. Like it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Inception X. Yeah, don't steal that. That was my idea.
I won't even highlight it so no one sees it. Yeah, SmoothNCrypto said he's planning to build. I gotta love it. Yeah. One of us. Yeah, it's hard not to want to build on Titan X. I know a lot of people not only have talked to me about it, people are wanting to build. So I think in the next couple months we're going to get an onslaught of new upcoming projects on Titan X Hub. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, is he going to be able to keep up? Mike's building as well. Like now he's got two jobs.
Yeah, he's definitely got his work cut out for him. I couldn't. That's tough. It's a lot.
Yeah. That's exciting, and I think that's what sets Titan X apart. Is just everybody. It's bringing people together, and we're all coming together to attack the Titan X supply. And you don't have enough Titan X.
Not even close. Slipping into the Accelerate DMs.
Oh man, Bad Sports, they got to be super busy. Like I know they've got tons of people coming to them. Like that's a great idea. Hats off to Bad Sports. I can't remember who else he's running that with. I think it was Ali. Anyways,
Ali, Steve's in it. Scotty, Irish Crypto. So they got a whole bunch of people kind of part of the gang, and some do different things and whatnot. Not all of them code and whatnot, but great idea to be able to not only help people launch projects, but like Titan X is a capitalist society, right? If you build something, Accelerate is doing some great projects and really getting some good upcoming projects that haven't even probably been even talked about publicly that are coming out in the future.
Yeah, I get jealous because I know they have alpha, and they're not telling people. They know of projects that we don't know of, the Titan X Hub doesn't know of. That I don't know. Like I would like to be able to fly on the wall in that chat and see what's going on behind the scenes with that.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And, it's one of those things that a lot of stuff could be building and talked about right now that changes the future of Titan X that we don't even know about, so I think that's just a really cool aspect. And, I think E280, to bring it back, is that thing as well, right? It's a game changing, never been before done type of protocol that links a never been before done flywheel system that is Titan X. So it's going to be the most, it's like I said, I just keep saying more bullish stuff, and I keep saying insane and whatnot because it really is. It really is.
I was noticing that with myself. I'm saying a lot of those same keywords, and I'm like, I feel like I'm repeating myself. But this is what I'm honestly feeling. Like these are the emotions coming out of me. Just Titan X in general. This is I'm so happy to be in this. It's kickstarting the bull run for the whole crypto space. Once they catch up, we skyrocket with ETH going up. Oh man, so many people are going to be feeling that FOMO.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not only
Yeah.
feeling the FOMO, but we might be the catalyst to help ETH really start going. You never really know whether it's us or Ethereum's just doing it on itself, but it's you can have these little catalysts that grow and grow and grow to being a lot of volume on ETH. I mean, we already have a ton of volume, we really do, but it could be even crazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
This is awesome. People in here. Anything you want to really put out there that you haven't talked about? I know you've been on the absolute grind of live streams and stuff, so I just want to kind of see if you have anything you thought that you need to say.
no, I mean, yeah, the launch date, October 12th. We still haven't finalized the actual time frame. It'll probably be somewhere around like 14 UTC, somewhere around there. So early morning for the US people, and then mid to midday evening for Europe, and try to get a nice open stance for everybody. But really, whether you mint on day one or like hour one or hour five, I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. So you don't have to feel too much FOMO with E280. Um, but no, like I feel like we discussed pretty much everything. Yeah, like I'm definitely planning like I'm trying to really do that marketing push. I'm trying to be on Twitter every day. I'm following Jake's Roll of 100. You know, just trying to get it all. I just figured out how to dual stream, so now we got YouTube going. I need to get Twitter streaming going on. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it all. Like
Yep.
let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things that we're growing as well as the ecosystem in general, right? The community. And we're going to have more bullish streams, different cool walkthroughs. So you're always welcome on my channel. Obviously, this is our third live stream and whatnot, but I think we
Yeah.
always have a great conversations, good vibes as always. And this Element 280, I can't say it enough, is so innovative, and it's going to be crazy to see how people interact with it, what they do, who fumbles the bag, right? It's going to be very, very, very bullish.
Uh, yeah. We'll have to figure out some kind of, I don't know, maybe some kind of live stream. I don't know. We'll see. We've got it set to where we can launch all of the smart contracts ahead of time, and be prepped to where it's really just hit the start button and go. So there should be, obviously anything can go wrong, but there shouldn't be any kind of delay on launch or anything like that. It should be super easy from a development standpoint, which I think's massive. Like when I launched Helios and like way went through the roof, and the stuff was failing, transactions weren't going through. It was a nightmare on the back end trying to get everything going. Like, so avoiding that by just launching the day before, and then just having that start button, that'll make everything so much more smooth. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And we're at a pretty good time right now with Gwei and gas and stuff like that. It's really not that bad. Can get really bad, so we have a
Fingers
little bit of
crossed it
room.
stays there.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, we have a little bit of wiggle room to really play a few different ways and mints, and so hopefully it stays that way. Anything could happen, but I think right now in not only Titanx, October is going to be nuts for Titanx in general. I think a lot of people are going to realize what we got cooking over here leading into November, and we have some great projects releasing, and I couldn't be more bullish, not only with the community, the ecosystem, the projects, the innovation. It's really a wild place to be, and it seems like no one knows about us still. And we know what we have cooking over here, and it smells great, and no one else knows.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about doing the Titanx streamer stream. You got to jump in on that with everybody. I think that would be awesome to. I think the Blaze, they're putting together a marathon stream coming up for the Titanx anniversary. all that stuff super fun to me. Like I like being a part of them. Yeah, the people will start feeling the FOMO. Like the
Yep.
green candles, all the haters will forget and be there
Yep.
instantly.
Yeah, and they're gonna say, "Oh, I just was waiting for the time," and
Yeah,
whatever the case may be.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but yeah, the October, right? 8. And, ironically, that's my birthday month. And so the fact that every single year around my birthday, we get year after year anniversaries for Titan X, and it's good. It's just really sick.
yes. By
So,
design, yes, I love it.
I love that. Yeah, man. 8 project protocols launching in October month, possibility. Yeah. I mean, we already have what, 4 confirmed, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe 3 confirmed.
yeah,
Yeah. So I gotta look back at the tweets and see the confirmed dates. Because you know we have some big projects coming out, and E280 hopefully is one of them, right? I think so. I know you think so. Yeah. So if anybody has any more questions, we're gonna do a little bit more. But yeah, man, this has been awesome. I think not only I think we clarified some things for people, but also clarified some things for me, and just different questions and thoughts. I know a lot of people love hearing your viewpoints, not only on crypto, but Titan X and your projects, Helios and 280. So always a pleasure to have you on the channel, man.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I'll definitely come back. Anytime I'm like I need to do some streaming, like you're definitely on that list of people. I'm accumulating a list of streamers that I really enjoy streaming with, and yeah, I feel like the synergy is there, and it flows really well. Mo's on that list, shout out to him. The Blaze, what are the weekly Blaze? I love that. Like they've done a great job. They've really been through the entire bear market. I love it. Bad Sports is just he's probably the MVP of marketing.
Yeah,
He is
seriously.
everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah, not only marketing other projects and his projects and building other people's projects, and it's just it's a it's a lot, honestly.
Uh,
So this is if Ouroboros launch with its ORX, will it be included?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. Like that's they're filling a hole in the ecosystem that we don't have currently. Like how many people would love to put up their tokens as collateral to make it to get a loan to get into more protocols? Like
Yep.
the leverage play. Let's be honest, where there's a bunch of degens in crypto, and the Ouroboros protocol will facilitate that. So yeah, I think it'll do well. Yeah, and we definitely want to keep them in there.
Yep.
And again, just to be clear, like we can always add additional LPs down the road. Obviously, we can't mint more E280 tokens; it's cap supply. But with like V2, V3 buy and burns, we can be injecting Titan X into all of these LPs and expand E280 with every one of these. So
That's awesome. Yeah. So Revo, silly question: is buying 280 like buying all protocols? Yes, in my opinion, yes. Because it's linked to everything, right? There's nothing it's not linked to, and inevitably that is like buying everything. Because if it's linked to it, it's on a certain point a ratio between everything.
yeah, yeah. Just like Titan X is a leverage on Ethereum, this is a leverage on all the build on Titan protocols.
Yep. So yeah, Bad Sports says, "Come on the 8th, dude?" Question mark. So I guess that's
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to check my calendar because I'm terrible with dates, but that sounds open to me. Yeah, it absolutely be. Yeah, I need to. So I'll shoot you a DM.
yeah. Rich, launch date is 10/12. So 10/12.
Yes.
Yeah. And USDX is a stable coin as well. That's very bullish for us. Very bullish.
Yeah. that's one, we don't want to pair with. That's the USDX. That's a utility for something else. Like it's a stable coin.
Yep.
We don't need that in E280 LPs.
Yeah, it'll just be with the actual Ouroboros token.
Yes, that we are bullish on.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Hey, it's been an amazing live stream, man. I know it's did a nice little over an hour. I think people love that hour-ish range, and
Yeah.
like I said, you're always welcome on the channel. And I love our conversations. I think they're very informative. Too much alpha, and a lot of bullishness. But overall,
Yeah.
we're slowly showing people what the new things are that you're making, and I think that's really important. Getting some exposure to it, and you being able to have some clips and information as well, with you talking about it. So yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. It was awesome having you on.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I'll definitely be back.
Absolutely. Hey, well, this has been SmoothNCrypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. Dude, thank you for coming on. Until next time, peace.